professor at California Baptist University. I teach in sports and performance psychology. I'm also the director of sports and performance psychology at that particular institution. Do a lot with athletes, do a lot with performers, not just athletes, but anybody that performs. How do we enhance performance? So, I think it was last month I spoke at the health profession conference. Did anybody see me? Was anybody at the health conference? Okay, a couple people. Okay, I won't get you wet, I promise. Okay, so if you remember that. But those that you have no clue, you ask. It was pretty cool. Okay, from that standpoint. But it was a great example of just how we deal with the cognitive. So I get a chance a lot of times to come speak to classes. I love speaking to you guys because I know we're kind of a health field, correct? Health profession field. Do you know what you want to get involved with? Do you know where you want to go? What you want to do? You're nodding. What do we want to do? Radiology. Good money in radiology. Good money in radiology. I was sharing with students this morning that my daughter is, she's actually going to college. She's a senior right now in high school. She's going to go to Hawaii Pacific University. I just came back from Honolulu on Wednesday. Beautiful location. And I researched a little bit the top paying jobs in Honolulu. One of the top paying jobs was anesthesiologist. Anybody know what that is? What's an anesthesiologist? Yes?
It's the person that puts the anesthesia before you go into surgery.
It kind of makes you go night-night, right? Okay, for lack of better terms. Okay, definitely helps from that standpoint, which is cool. $272,000 a year for an anesthesiologist. Anybody want $250,000? I wouldn't mind making that kind of ka-ching, you know what I'm saying? So definitely think about what you want to go into. Now, you might not be interested in going into sports psych. That's fine. What I get the great opportunity to do all the time is I work with the medical community. And you're like, wait a minute, Dr. G, how do you use sports psych within the medical community? We're going to find out today. Okay? But I work a lot with performance enhancement. Everybody in this room should want to enhance your performance. Not athletically, per se, but we want to get better at something, do we not? Okay? And so we work on that. We work on understanding the mind and the way we process things. We work on how we deal with stress and anxiety. Any seniors in this room? Where's my seniors? Raise your hand. Seniors, come on. Proud seniors? Okay, seniors, look at me. Look at me. It's March. In 3 months, y'all are homeless. Think about it. You got to go. You got to do something. You're going to college. You're moving out, something like that. You will be dealing with a lot of stress. How do we process the change in my life, the different stages? Where am I going? What am I going to major in? What am I going to do as a career-wise? So we do a lot with performance enhancement, also understanding how we deal with stress and manage stress. So within sports and performance, yes, I work with a lot of athletes. So therefore, what's really cool is I get paid to watch ESPN every day. Does that suck? I think that sounds incredibly awesome. Now, it's a little tongue-in-cheek. Okay, a little plug for my job, my career, my profession, what I go into. But I've always got to stay on top of what performers are doing. And so, yeah, there's many times where I've got to check the papers and I need to be able to go ahead and see what's going on in athletics because I deal with a lot of athletes on a regular basis. That's a lot of what I get a chance to do. But I want to wake us up a little bit. I like a little competition. Can we compete? You guys cool with this? Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to time this too. Let's time this bad boy. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you a set of numbers up on the screen. What I need you to do with those set of numbers, I want you to visually see each number in numerical order. So what I mean by that is you've got to find number 1. Now we're not talking, but you got to find number 1. And then you got to find number 2. And then you got to find number 8. You got to see it. Okay? You can't just skip all the way through to the largest number you see. No, you got to be able to see it. Capiche? Okay. Any questions? And I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I want to see how high you can get in 30 seconds. You ready for this challenge? No talking. You're just going to see numbers. I need to see 1, and then I need to see 2, and then I need to see 3. Here we go. Ready? Set? Go. And stop. How'd we do? How'd we do? Highest number, what did we get to? What did we get to? 6. What did we get to? Anybody beat 6? Come on. Cojones. What? 10. Nice. Anybody better than 10? All right, now what do we do within sports and performance psychology? What we do is we take these all numbers and we try to narrow them down to give you guys a central focus because we get distracted very easily. We do we not? Okay? Some of you guys are distracted by your phones right now. Okay? These little crack boxes, we all have them. It's easy to be distracted. You know what I'm talking about too. There's times your friend's been talking to you and you're like, what'd you say? Hang on, wait a minute, I need to swipe. Hang on, what? And we miss things. Okay? So I'm going to try to narrow it down. We're going to do it again. And your job, your homework is to see if you can get 1 point higher. Can you do that? Let's see if we can do that. I'm going to give it to you again. I'm going to reset. New time. Ready, set, go. Stop. All right, now let's have some fun. If your number increased by at least 1, raise your hand for me, please. Nice. Okay, so that's a good majority of us in the class. Our confidence went up. We accomplished something. We grew in something. That's what we do within sports and performance psychology. And now you feel better about yourself. You've grown with your belief in self, your self-efficacy. Now, if your number went down, my challenge is why? Okay? Because now we need to take it one step further and try to figure out what did we not see in the process. Those of you guys that went up, so who had you had the 10. What'd you get to this time? 11. We got at least 11, okay? Anybody increase? If your number increased by 3, raise your hand. Okay, we had some go up significantly. Now again, if it didn't increase enough, then my job is to help you see what we're missing. Okay? Now your teacher was smart enough this morning when we did this earlier, she nailed it, which was impressive. Because here's what's going on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, back up to 10, 11. What do we see?
There's 1 in every box.
There's a pattern, exactly. And if you keep going all the way through, you're going to get to 54. And now if we did it a third time, do you think you'd have a better chance of increasing? Exactly. Sometimes our cognition is out and doing a bunch of different things. And we just got to find a way to bring it back down. Whether you're a performer, like I said, or whether you're an athlete, okay? It's a matter of just trying to find out how we can focus on what we need to focus on. Where's our cognition need to be? So from that standpoint, I always challenge you to think about why your number changed. But either positive or negatively, why did it go up? Why did it go down? What caused that? And let's see how we can work with that. Because listen to me, guys. What you failed to recognize is you got a result. And many times if our number went down, we view it as a negative result. We're very good as humans picking out the negative. Can I get an amen out there? Come on now. Okay, we are. We pick the negative every time. Your challenge is to figure out, wait a minute, I got a result. How can I change that negative to a positive? So if your number went down, what did you do differently? And what can you do differently next time when you're given that same opportunity? Does that make sense? Okay, so you're in class. You've got an opportunity. Life is all about 2 choices. Everything you do is about 2 choices. I got some chocolate covered strawberries back there. You got 2 choices. She eats them or she doesn't. You can leave them if you want to. That's totally fine. Okay, I'll eat them for you. Okay, but we all got 2 choices in everything that we do. You can process what I'm teaching you, or you can choose not to. That's fine. You can figure out how maybe some of these lessons apply in life, and how you can use them, or you can choose not to. That's fine. My seniors, you can get to the end of May and choose not to process. Or you can figure out what you can do differently to make sure that you can continue to thrive. Capiche? Got me? All right. So what do we do from a daily basis, from an educational basis? I want to share a little bit as far as what we do, how we get through what we do. Well, we need the education first. There's a lot of training that goes into this. Again, if you're going to, remind me again, not anesthesia, God bless you. Not anesthesiology, you want to be? Radiology, okay? Any training you have to go through for that? Yeah, just un poquito, okay? Yeah, there is, okay? So you've got to go through the education. Every place has its education. Do I have anybody that wants to be doctors in here? Do you? Go. I love it from that standpoint, okay? So guess what? You're in the long haul, right? We know we've got a lot of schooling ahead of us. So you want to think about what you do. Within our profession, master's degree is pretty much required. And then you can advance to the doctorate degree if that's actually what you want to do. But master's degree for sure. So we're looking at that. Higher degrees are needed, okay? At CBU, we actually offer a bachelor's and a master's and a dip into what's called a PsyD program, which is a doctorate program within sports and performance psychology. What do we do on a daily basis? Who do we help? What could you do with this degree? If you've never thought of sports psychology, that's fine. But if you're going to be in the medical field, y'all are here to help people. True? You're here to help people. That's what we do on a regular basis. I get a chance to help people all the time. And I love my job. I never work a day in my life. But there's a lot of different fields you can get into, whether it's mental performance coach or sports psychologist or life coach, athletic director, a college coach, if sports are your thing. We do a lot of work with first responders. We do a lot of work with first responders. Any stress being a firefighter, y'all? Or a police officer? Tons. Or EMT? Tons. Okay? We do a lot of work with the military. The military is actually the fastest hirer of sports and performance psychologists. Why? It's cheaper to bring me in than it is to bring 1,000 new recruits in. Makes sense. So there's a lot of individuals in the military that are hiring our positions. Yes, we work with a lot of sports. We don't work with Gryffindor per se. I only throw that up there because every year I get to take a group of students to London. Anybody ever been in London here? Who would love to go to London? If you don't like to go to London, that's fine, but I encourage you to do this. Think about where you want to go. Get outside of Riverside, y'all. Get out of Riverside. Get out of the bubble that we live in and go explore. So on Sunday, I board a plane, and I'm going to be in London all week next week. And I go there a couple times, about 3 or 4 times a year. And I get a chance to experience a different culture. And so my grad student, listen to the back room right there. You can just wave your hand. There she is. She's actually traveling to London with us. And I jokingly put Gryffindor in there because we take a full day and we go to Oxford University. And if you've ever seen Harry Potter at all, Harry Potter was filmed actually at Oxford, which is kind of cool to walk those grounds and see that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of performance, and I put that there because we actually do a lot of work with actors. Actors perform. Actors deal with stress. Okay, so in the performing arts, we actually will utilize that quite a bit. So I always put up here, I love putting Lauren up here. Lauren is actually a professional ballet dancer in Sarasota, Florida. She's now in New York. She's a soloist. And she's one of my private clients that I've worked with. She's now getting her master's degree in sports and performance psychology because the ballet profession needs individuals that understand the cognitive side within what they do, not just the physical side. So she's really awesome, and I love showing her. I can't dance like that. She's impressive. She's impressive what she does. You wouldn't want to see me in a tutu anyway, okay? So I can't do that. So I've done some work with Mississippi, the State Department of Human Services, so kind of social work. Social work has a big tie within sports and performance psychology as well. So there's a lot you can do, and then of course we're standing there in London at West Ham United, a great football club, which is pretty cool, one of the things we get a chance to do. So 2 big things that I want to have you guys take away before we jump into something fun. 2 things that we work on a lot within sports and performance psychology. The first one's mindfulness. Everybody say mindfulness. Mindfulness. Say it like you got coffee in you. Say it again. Mindfulness. Mindfulness. There we go. A little wider. What does mindfulness mean? Mindfulness means basically the science of being in the moment, living in the moment. I was giving first period a hard time when I was in here, and I'm all like, y'all look, did you see the mountains today? Or did you miss them? They're beautiful. God bless you. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. Did you miss them? Are you in the moment? I know it's Friday, y'all. I know I see your brain. I know where y'all are. Okay? You're like, any place but here. Okay? But can you be in the moment? Can you find yourself being in the moment? Understanding what exists in the moment. And so those mountains driving in is absolutely beautiful. You got to spend time kind of looking. Because here's the reality. For all of us in this room, so much of life goes unnoticed that not noticing becomes a habit. Did y'all hear me? Did y'all hear me? So much of life goes unnoticed that not noticing becomes a habit. We miss so much in life. I was joking with you earlier. We all got this little crack box. We all got it. You might have missed homework today and didn't get it submitted, but Lord forbid you ain't leaving the house without this thing. True?
True.
It's true. And we get distracted by this. And so we spend our time in this. And I'm not picking on you young people. I'm 53 and I still do it. But I got to be careful because I'll get lost in this. And I don't see what's going on around me. And so your challenge is, what'd you miss today? What can you pick up on? What can you be mindful of being in the moment and being present? Don't miss those opportunities. So that's one of the things that I deal a lot with my athletes and my performance on. Be in the moment, enjoy the moment, write the moment, be here, be present. Again, like I said, fly Sunday, land Monday. Get on the tube, get into the heart of London. I need to be present. I need to enjoy that moment. True? A cup of tea. Have a cup of English tea, enjoy it, be in the moment. Savor good food, a good walk, the people, the environment, the culture. Enjoy that. And then the second word, self-awareness. Say self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
Little louder, self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
How much do you know yourself? If we're true, generation to generation, this age is awkward. It is, I'm sorry. But do you know yourself? Not, does somebody else know me, my friends, my colleagues, my BFFs? No. Do you know yourself? Because that's what it's going to take. Because again, seniors in this room, you ain't taking anybody with you. You know what I'm saying? You've got to know yourself. So how much do you know about yourself? Can you be self-aware? So again, it goes back to that self-efficacy, and that's something I work with my athletes and my performers on, or those in the medical community. How well do they know themselves? So mindfulness, self-awareness, two things that I work on all the time. Now we're going to have some fun, y'all. Now you get to understand you. So you need a pen. Grab yourself a pen if you have it, or a pencil. I prefer a pen because I don't like erasing. Okay? I don't like erasing, but we're going to pass out something called the DISC assessment. Now this is something I use all the time within my profession. It allows me an opportunity to get to know you better. So if I'm assisting you and helping you, I get to know you. Now you're going to get to know yourself through this, which is a lot of fun. So when you get this paper, put your name on the front of it, and I want you to start on this page right here for me, y'all. There's a back page, but start here for me. Now I'm going to give you instructions on how to take this. So don't start it until I walk you through it, please. Okay? So, everybody got it? We good? Okay, now I asked you to do a pen because here's what I want you to do. Look at me, look at me, look at me. I want you to go with your gut when we're responding to things. And what I mean by that is, what do you agree with the most? Don't turn to your friend next to you and go, am I more like this? It's not a pair share kind of question thing. It's you and your gut. Capiche? Capiche? Okay. So, we're going to go working in, now look at me up here. Look at me up here. We work in rows, not columns. Rows. You're going to use all four numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 in each row. 4 is what most describes you. 1 is what least describes you. 3 is what next best describes you. 2 is what next least describes you. Do you follow? You must use all 4 numbers. You cannot repeat a number. So look at the example I give you in the box up at top. Look at your paper. The example I give you: independent, enthusiastic, good listener, high standards. I, Dr. Ed Garrett, I answer that. Where does my 4 go? I put my 4 down first. Well, what is it under? Very simply, good listener. That spoke to me. That's my 4. And then I move to my 1. Which am I not of the 3 remaining? Well, I'm not independent. So there's my 1. Do you see that in the box? So I've got the 1 and the 4 taken care of. Now I got to figure out where the 2 and 3. Well, which one next best describes me? Okay, based on what you see right there, high standards. And now naturally the vacant box is a 2. So we're going to do this first line together. Grab your pens. So we're going to go together. So the 4 words are this. Listen to me. Forceful, lively, modest, thoughtful. Now before we go, if you're ever confused on a word, raise your hand. We will come help you with that. Don't guess. But what I want you to do with those 4 words, forceful, lively, modest, thoughtful, which one's you? Put the 4 down right now. Go. Now, of the 3 remaining, which one's not you? Oh, my goodness, that's not me. That's your 1. Put your 1 down. God bless you again. And then with the 2 remaining, which one next best kind of is you? Put the 3. And then obviously the 2 goes in the last box. Everybody got it? So in that first line, you should have numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. Every number used, no numbers repeated. We all good? Now, you get to work on your own. Go to the next line, and then the next line. Make sure you finish 1 line before you move to the next. Ready, set, go. If you've got questions on a word, raise your hand. More than happy to help you, and then we'll come back and discuss it. Again, go with your gut. Try not to erase or second guess. Just go with your gut.
If you guys come across words you're not sure what they mean, just ask one of us. There's probably a lot of new words on there for you guys. So which one are you the most? And which one are you the least?
I say them. What does people do to me?
You get along, you love people, you get along with people.
Not your presence, but maybe other people. Or her presence. Or her presence. Strong will.
Strong will. So like, no one's gonna really tell you what to do or like persuade you to do something different. Like, you're gonna do what you're gonna do.
What's a strong word mean? What does strong word mean?
That's what she does.
Oh.
So you're basically gonna
When you're done, now go back and add up the columns, please.
like your strong will. So
Okay,
don't
add
tell
up the
me
columns,
to
do it in your head, don't use your phone.
If I say no, you shouldn't do that because this is not how I'm doing it. It's almost like kind of like stubborn, hard-headed in a way. But it's not necessarily in a bad way either.
Okay, what if it depends who the person is? Like, tell me.
You're just gonna have to decide. Just gotta go with your gut. Do the most for the least, the one. And then, yeah. I know sometimes it's hard to choose.
What you think, not what your friends think.
Again, once you're done, add all the columns up, put the number on the line at the bottom. I'll give you instructions after that. We might have enough.
Not very. Let's say somebody else won't do this, but you will. Like, if you're like given something to do, you'll immediately do it, no matter the consequence.
What word are we stuck on? Ooh, okay, you're gutsy. Want to go jump off the building? Let's go. Go on, you want to go? You want to go? Let's go. Or are you staying there? Okay, so that's probably one.
Do you want to go skydiving?
Yeah, exactly.
Car racing?
Yeah.
Are you an adrenaline?
Oh yeah, what do we got?
Did you put a 1 for that one?
You see things and you're open. Different things. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Is that from her?
¿Quieres?
No, I'm reading.
Sí, directo al punto. So,
¿Qué es eso?
si tengo como una mancha en mi cara, me dices, tienes una mancha en mi cara. No vas a engañar a alguien.
We're doing good with the story?
Que no vas a engañar a nadie. Supongo que no.
Now go ahead and circle your highest score for me, please. Circle your highest score for me. Cool. Okay. And then if you guys can look on the board, if you want to, once your scores are there, go ahead and put a D in that first column, put an I in that second column, S, and then a C. D, I, S, or C, all the way through. Which is totally fine.
You guys can pull out your phone calculator.
And you're going to have some that are close.
That's the one. Still working on it? Okay. There's no rush, no right or wrong. I'm just gonna go ahead and probably jump in here in a minute.
Just optimistically.
What we're doing over here, crew. Go circle your highest. We've got about 2 more minutes on this, and then I'm going to start diving into it and give you some information. Now, you may have scores that are close. That's totally fine. Okay? You might not have one that is just incredibly high. You might have some that are incredibly high. That's fine. There's no right or wrong. We're going to go over it. Now, as we go over this and as you're totaling up and maybe you're still working through it, understand this. Everybody has everything. You hear me? Everybody has everything. It's talking about behavior, the way we behave. Now, when we're taking this, we're looking at the adaptive side. When I say adaptive, any clue on what I'm talking about? You at school. Then there's the natural side, you at home. You at home are probably a little different than you are at school. You may be similar. We're going to talk about that. But listen to me. What we're looking at is environment. In this class, you might be a little different than next period. When you're at lunch, you're definitely in a different environment than you are right here. Which brings out a different behavior. Not right or wrong, just different. So everybody acknowledges, look at your scores. Everybody has everything, okay? Everybody has everything. So where this comes out, where the D or the I or the SEC comes out, we're going to talk about that a little bit. I'm going to give you some cliff notes, some versions, some answers to that. Because everybody wants to know, what am I? Talk to me, Dr. G. What am I? How do I analyze this? Okay? So I want you to be able to put your, look at me. Put your spidey senses on. Not only recognize yourself, but start to recognize your friends. Start to recognize your teacher. What is she? I would want to know as a student, because I don't want to make her mad. I need her on my side. I want to pass this class. How do I communicate to her? How do I get a positive behavior response from her? How about your parents, your caregivers, your siblings? I mean, when I was in high school, I majored in dating. You know what I'm talking about? That was my major, okay? And so, how many relationships maybe would I have stayed with if I really understood how to read behavior and communicate? We were sharing in our break. I'm now 27 years into my marriage to my bride. Love her to death, but I am still always trying to understand her. Always trying. Gentlemen, are you listening in this room? Trying to save y'all, okay? Trying to save y'all. Right? Try to understand that significant other from that standpoint. So, let's get into it. So, you're looking at your numbers. Here we go. If you're 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, kind of right in there, that is your adaptive behavior response. That is you at this moment, screenshot, taking a look at it. Right now, that's you. But if you are 40 or higher on any number, that's you on crack. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that is you. There's no argument. That is me. I can't even put it past you, Dr. G. This is me. Okay? So, to help you understand self, when we're talking about self-awareness, here's what I'd like you to do. Flip it over to the back page here. I don't have it up on the screen, so I want you to flip it over. And like any good student, make sure I have about a 5-minute call when class is done. Okay, I appreciate that. Okay, so I want you to take some notes. When I said put your spidey senses on, the reason I said that was, again, think about those people in your sphere of influence. Brothers, sisters, girlfriend, boyfriends, aunts, uncles, teammates, okay, teachers, anybody. What are they? Now I'm going to go through this. I'm going to give you some notes, and I encourage you to write these down, because I'm going to talk about all 4 levels. Your job is to figure out what environment does that style come out. Y'all ready for this? Okay. Where are my dominants? Where are my Ds? Raise your hand. Raise my hand. If you scored highest in the D, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4. Okay. What do I know? These are my dominants. So if you want to take notes, D stands for dominance. Again, it's on that back page. Turn it over, you can take notes. Back page, dominance. What do I know about dominance? They are very aggressive, very fast-paced. They don't like to sit for long periods of time. They need to keep moving, keep going. They're very aggressive, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. They make coffee nervous. You got me? Very high energy in the sense that they've got a task to go do. Get out of my way. If there's a challenge, they love it. Why? Because they want to be number one. They're very competitive. They hate to lose. They love to win, but they hate to lose more than they love to win. So winning is the only option for a dominance. They also love to be in control, in charge. Always love to be in charge. It's their way or the highway. Okay? They don't like to do a lot of talking, a lot of chit-chatting. Just get to the point. Just get to the point. Okay? How are we doing, dominance? Is that you? Is that you? Okay, and you see it. Now, everybody has a little bit of that in you. That's fine. Everybody has even though I'm high S, I've got a little bit of dominance in there, and that competitive streak definitely comes out. Okay? But very aggressive. So, with the dominance, the 2 things you need to write down that you need to make sure you have down. They are fast-paced, they're always moving, and they're focused on the task. Getting the job done. They're not focused on the people, they're focused on the task. And they're very competitive, okay? Next, my eyes. Where's my eyes in this room? If you scored highest in the eye, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4, 5. Eyes, what do I know about eyes? You are my influencers. Hasn't have anything to do with the internet. But here's what you need to know about my influence, those that influence. Okay? Very sociable. Very sociable. Loves to network. Okay? Loves to be around people, needs people. Dominants are fine not being around people. They could care less. If you're here or not, I don't care. I get to win if you're not here. That's fine. Eyes, we need people. So during COVID, y'all, let's be honest. It sucked. I needed people. And I'm stuck on a computer. And I'm an eye. I need to be around people. So eyes need that on a regular basis. They need variety. They need to move. They like variety. So I was sharing with your teacher before. Eyes are ones that are like, hey, can we change desks? Hey, can we change seats? Hey, can I stand up while you lecture? They need to move. They like variety. It stays fresh with them. So think of your friends who are eyes. Eyes love to talk. Eyes love to socialize. Okay? Eyes have already started to think about the end of the semester party. They've already started to plan it. Okay? And I love putting it, if we're looking for like the Hispanic community, eyes, you started planning your quinceañera when you were 2. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You had it planned out all that time. You think in the future about the sociable atmosphere. True? Okay? Because you like people. So where dominants are focused on fast-paced and tasks, eyes, you're focused on fast-paced and relationships. Put that down. Relationships matter. If I was to grab your cell phone, you still have contacts from people you met back in elementary school. You hang on to those. You talk to them. And you know what? You're going to continue that when you get older. When you go to a conference for a workplace, you network. You walk into this room and you go, what's up? You like to be noticed. Appearance matters to you. Appearance matters to an eye, very much so. Okay? Now, we just went fast-paced from dominance and eyes. Dominance and influence, very fast-paced. Let's slow things down. Where are my S's in this room? Raise your hand. There's always more S's than any other population. And it's encouraging that you guys look around the room and see who the S's are. Here's what I know about S's. S's, we slow things down. That's why we're steady for S. Another S word I like to use, service. Very much giving, very much serving, very much helping. Coming in and talking to the teacher and going, what do you need set up today? How can I help you? We do a lot of work behind the scenes, S's, because we love to serve, we love to give. Very big into family, S's. Very big into family. We don't like a lot of change, do we, S's? And S's, look at me, look at me. We don't like conflict. You don't like conflict. We look at everything going on in this world and we go, I don't get it. Why can't we just all hold hands and sing Kumbaya? I don't understand. Why are we hating? Why are we fighting? Why? S's don't get it. Why? They're very connected to people. Write that down. I's have relationships in them. Yes, they look at people differently. S's, we feel things. If you're a very high S in this room, you probably already cried once this morning because S's are emotional. S's are emotional. We feel things. If there's something going on in the community, our family, our class, our team, we feel it. Okay? So when I say we cried emotional-wise, yeah, we feel it. So again, I'm going to get on a plane and I'm going to fly 10 hours to London. And sure, guys, I like action movies, sports movies, all that kind of stuff. That's cool. But you know what I really want to watch when I'm on the plane? Inside Out. I love a little heart tugging at the soul, little rom-com, you know, something like that. Give me a good romantic comedy any day, anytime. I love that over some action movie because it tugs at my soul. Y'all tracking me, S's? Now, S's, let's get real quick. S's, you invented the word worry. You worry a lot. You worry a lot. And inside your mind, you carry a lot of self-doubt. When I talked about self-awareness, it's hard. When I talked about mindfulness, that's hard for y'all. I'm a 46S. I know what I'm talking about. Okay? And so from that standpoint, we time travel and we teleport different directions. with our mind. You remember mistakes you made 5 years ago, and you're convinced that everybody else remembers those same mistakes. You do. Because we're really good at self-doubt. It's hard for us to believe in ourselves. You feeling me, S's? You feeling me? So S's, let me give you a mantra. You ready? Your next tattoo, you're going to write this down. I want you, if you're a true S, I want you to write this down. You ready with me? Here's your mantra. You ready? Write this down, S's. If it doesn't matter in 5 years, don't give it 5 minutes. If it doesn't matter in 5 years, don't give it 5 minutes. And what I mean by that, you made a mistake this week. Somewhere you made a mistake. You screwed up. You did something. Or you felt like you did. And you still think that everybody remembers that. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. And we got to be careful, S's, because you will carry that to your grave remembering it. But it doesn't matter. Be mindful in the moment. Don't stress over that. Okay? We good, S's? And then last, C's. Where's my C's? Raise your hand if you're C's. Look at your teacher raising her hand. Be cognizant of that. What do we got? Okay, C's, my analytical. My conscientious one. I'm going to let you all figure out how to spell conscientious. No, it's a conscience in there with a T. Kind of is what it really, that's the best way to describe it. Okay? You're my analytical. Better yet, you're my wise ones. You're my problem solvers. If I was to go get your teacher's phone and bring your teacher's phone up here, you know what I'm going to find? Wordle.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Boom! How'd I know that? And she knows her first word. She can tell it to you right now. Okay? Or Sudoku. Something other than just feeding chickens. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, there's an actual puzzle in there because they're analytical. Everything's viewed from a puzzle, solving a problem, kind of analytically thinking about things. That's what C's do. Okay? What else do I know about C's? Shared this with your teacher, and she was like, yep. C's like to work alone or in small groups. C's don't like big groups. They don't like hanging out with a lot of different people. They don't enjoy that. Okay? So small groups. So when you see somebody standing by the side, they're probably pretty cool with it. Okay? They're probably pretty okay with that. Okay? Now, what else do I know about C's? C's like to ask the why question. Okay, so God bless your teacher. I'm sure when she's sitting in a faculty meeting, she's probably going, why? Why are we doing that? And the reason is she really wants to know why. As a C, you really want to know why. Why? Because you like to be right. You love to be right. Not to prove you wrong. I'm not trying to prove you wrong. You just need to be right. And so I've got to ask the why to get the answers to be right. Because ambiguity, if you don't know what that word is, look it up, is very hard for a C. A C would rather submit something late, a week late, at 100% than give it to you right now at 20%. Because I've got to be right. Okay? Because of that, C's sometimes are viewed as bottlenecks. Anybody know what a bottleneck is? Bottleneck, simply put, man, we're always waiting on her. Why are we always waiting for that last little piece of data or that last little piece of the homework? When you do a group project, if you've got somebody that's a C on your team, they're the ones that you're always going, can you just give us the report? I don't feel good about it. They're always going to drag their feet on it. Okay? Now, the last thing about the C's, C's love policies, procedures, and rules. They love them. They love to quote them. Okay? Why? Because they love to be correct. They love to be right. Now, think about this. I've gone over all four. How much time do we have here? I'm just curious. What do we have? I've gone over all four. Now, everybody has everything in you. Take a look at it real quick on your notes section. Okay? What do we have? 9 minutes? Okay, perfect. Okay? Look at what I've given you. In your notes section, what really speaks to you? Maybe you answered something correctly or incorrectly when you did the disc. But after me describing it to you, you're like, that's me. That's me. Take a look at what I gave you. Circle, highlight, underline. Out of all the little definitions I gave you for all of them, which one really speaks to you the hardest? And then I want you to be aware of what environment that comes out in. Now, like I said, everybody has everything inside of you. I gave the example when I was talking to your teacher break. I'm a very high SI. I used to be a theater major. I know it's hard to believe. I'm very shy, okay? But I used to be a theater major. Loved performing. When I go speak, again, if you saw me at the conference, I love standing on stage. I mean, for Pete's sakes, look at my shoes, okay? That is an SI shoe right there. That is saying, look at me. I love it. I don't mind it. Why? Because I don't care what you think about me. I'm self-aware. I know me. I'm comfortable with me. Doesn't matter. But I can stand on stage and I can perform and I can give a wonderful speech. I can give a wonderful lecture. I can bring things to life. But as soon as I'm done, listen to me, listen to me. As soon as I'm done, my C kicks in. And I want to go back to my car. I want to go back to my hotel. I don't want to mingle. And so I have to adapt to my SI. So when I was at the conference speaking, as soon as I walked off stage, I fought myself because myself said, you can just get in the car and leave, Ed. But I had to fight it and go, nope, find your S&I and step out and go shake hands and meet students. Does that make sense? So I now, God bless you, I now recognize where my C comes in. How about my dominance? I'm very competitive. I was a coach. I was an athlete. Anybody want to go play a game? Let's go play Monopoly right now. And I'm the car. Get out of here. Okay? And I will drop you so hard. I will beat you so bad. You want to go play a sport? I will crush you. I will trash talk you. My dominance kicks in where I can't lose. But as soon as we're done, my S comes back in and goes, hey, you want to go get a cup of coffee? Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? So all of us in this room have a go-to style. That's my S. Your job, and why I asked you to look at things, is where do those other styles come out? Now, here's a question I want you to answer internally, okay? Look at me, look at me. Are you the same at school as you are at home? I get a little bit of this looking out there. I get a little bit of this looking out there. Okay. Where are you different? Look at whether you're with mom and dad, aunt and uncle, caregiver, whatever it is. Look at me. Look at me. Right now, what are they? What are they? Have it in your brain. Are they a dominance? Are they an influence? Are they a steady? Are they a conscientious? What are they? And now what used to make you mad yesterday about their behavior, maybe you understand a little more. Y'all got me? Maybe you understand a little more. So today, not as many fights. Why? Because I understand that's just the way you behave. That's just you. You get me? And so I work with doctors, I work with nurses, I work with teams on saying, how can we understand behavior? Because look at me, we're really good as humans on reading the cover. We don't get deep in the book with people. Y'all got me? You now have a tool called the DISC assessment in front of you that I use within sports and performance psychology or any sort of performance to help people understand that's you. I need to read the behavior so I know how to respond accordingly. Capiche? Y'all tracking me? So hopefully you've been able to see a little more about yourself, understand how you perform, how you behave under performance, and then you got a chance to see other people. My BFF outside, or maybe at the table. Now I know a little more about them, who they are, why they do what they do. Again, 27 years of marriage, I'm still trying to figure out why my wife does what she does. Okay? And it's my job to understand that. Maybe with your parents, your caregivers, your siblings, whoever you're with at home. Why do they do what they do? You got mad yesterday over it. Maybe today you cannot get mad because that's just what they do in that environment. And maybe we can hold hands and sing Kumbaya and get along a little more. Cool? Has this been beneficial? You like that? If you want to explore it more, you look up the DISC online. Okay? The last one, I'm gonna fly through this. And I didn't do this on the last class, but I'll do it right here. I don't have time to get through anything. If you want to know more about CBU and know more about the bachelor's program or anything, I encourage you. If that's someplace you want to go, great. If you don't go to CBU, I really don't care. And when I say that, what I mean by that is this. Go where you know you can make a difference. Go where you can be successful in whatever career you want to go into. We've got a killer nursing program. Okay, we turn away 1,000 applicants a year just because we can't house them all. A lot of people want to get in there. But if you want to look it up more, you're more than welcome to scan that, look up CVU a little bit. My information's there. You can always email me and ask me questions. You can call me and ask me questions. Okay? If I can help you with the next steps and what you want to do in your career, it's what I love to do. What I love to do. Any questions before I shut it down and hand it over? No questions. I'm that good. That's impressive. Okay? Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate that. We're going to talk a little bit about this wonderful little piece of paper.